Welcome to Esports Go, the only show for your esports news, notes, and highlights. I'm Justin Gillerman.
And I'm Matt Brown. What a day we had in the Overwatch League yesterday. We have a lot to talk about, and let's just get started with the first match, featuring the Texas Showdown, a match that was tabbed as a real shootout. Dallas came in with two tough losses against top-tier teams, while the Outlaws were fresh off their sweep of the Dragons. So we start on Junkertown. The Fuel do not start strong on Junkertown. As the seconds wind down, the Fuel are prevented by the Outlaws from even pushing to the first checkpoint. The Outlaws' push is another story though. Jake disrupts the Fuel's defense early on in the round. Once the Fuel are wiped out, the walk back to the payload is too long and the Outlaws easily take map 1. The next map is the same story, with Houston limiting the offensive capabilities of the Fuel. After halftime, Fuel fans are optimistic that the Fuel will bring it back. It looks close, but Jake changes that with a Dragon Blade, taking out most of the members of the Fuel. Round 2 of the map is more of the same plays by the Outlaws to completely snub the Fuel. They are up 3-0. Now there was one obvious missing factor in the first 3 maps, the star Roadhog, Taimu. Fans of the Dallas Fuel were confused about why he wasn't playing. He had played a stellar Roadhog the first 2 matches of the season, and it was not because they were not running Roadhog. Mickey played the Hog the first 3 maps. There were no changes in the lineup, and we didn't see a change until map 4. The Fuel put Taimu in, finally! He immediately comes in on Eichenwald and takes out most of the Outlaws as McCree. When they're defending, Taimu pulls out an incredible play on Junkrat, taking out again a majority of the Outlaws. Where was he in the first 3 maps? Jigo, where was he? The Outlaws still go on to take map 4, sweeping the Fuel 4-0. Jake had this to say after the match.
And I think what we came to realize, especially with our defeats in the first 2 matches of the season, what we came to realize was that that's just not going to cut it, and that in the Overwatch League, it's all about playing as a unit, playing as a team. And I think that's the most fundamental adjustment we've made, is that every strategy we do, every movement we make, every player's decision-making process is fundamentally guided by how can I sustain the team, how do I get value for the team, how do we accomplish the objective. And I think kind of almost rebuilding the way we think about the game has been amazing for us. I think we have a ton of improvements in mind. Like, we still have all these places that we could improve and get better, all these flaws in our gameplay that we're going to fix. And I think for us, the trend is only going to be upward.
And we've got a problem here, Justin. Not to discredit Houston, but it seemed like it was a cakewalk towards a 4-0 sweep. Dallas has a star player in Taimu who didn't see any action in the first 3 maps, but the time he subbed in for the 4th, the match was all but over. There were rumors that he may have had some wrist issues, to which an injury is a viable excuse, but if he was good enough to play in a meaningless last map, then why wasn't he there when the match was still in the balance, at least at map 3? And if he wasn't hurt, then what happened? Dallas would have played without their main overall threat for no known reason.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure the reasoning, what happened there. If it was an injury, then I hope Taimu can get fully healthy. But if it was a strategic move, then I'm not sure what the strategy there was. Either way, we know we have a team in the Outlaws who have won 2 straight games and have looked impressive doing it. And this is a team that a lot of people thought were going to be good. Now they're hot, so watch out.
Yeah, and adding to the mystery, Taimu had this to say in a tweet today. I used to be a leader. I used to be feared by everyone. Now I have been mediocre in and out of game, not someone one should respect. He continues, it's hard to be a shade of yourself, harder than it was being the best. But I will get it back. I will force it if I have to in order to win. Now, Justin, I applaud his responsibility, taking ownership of his play, injury or not, but I don't think it's all his fault, do you?
I will say what I've noticed so far at the beginning of this league, a lot of the players have taken accountability with their actions, how they've played. They come out with tweets saying, you know what, I need to be better. I need to help my team out and be better for our fans and our team. So Taimu is showing that accountability. I'm not sure if it's the injury. If it is the injury, then we'll see. But at least he's taking accountability early on, and we're seeing how much these players care. The next matchup was another one of our matchups to watch for this week. It was a battle of 2-0 teams who have looked impressive so far. It is the New York XL and the Los Angeles Valiant. We take you to map 3, where the XL are already 2 maps up against the Valiant. The Valiant are in a must-win situation to hope to bring the game to extra maps. The man standing in their way right now is Pine. He takes out Soon twice in 15 seconds. Not a great start for the Valiant. The Valiant were diving Pine every chance they had. The only problem with that strategy is that you open up opportunities for other members for the XL to shine. The XL easily take the round, but round 2 is a different story. Just when the XL thought they had the victory, the Valiant took it back all the way to 99. Silk Thread explodes on the XL backline with a Dragon Blade. He is taken out quick, but the damage is already done. The XL have no supports. The Valiant take round 2. Now the XL are facing their first round 3 on a control map. The XL take the point early and face no opposition though, thanks to in part to some amazing hook pick plays by Meko on Roadhog. The XL take the victory in Oasis and a 3-0 victory overall against the Valiant. I had a feeling the XL were going to come out on top, but my God, did they dominate the Valiant. The first map was a little bit of a nail biter, but the next 2 were just some impressive work, and you knew once they got into a control map and were able to sub in Pine, it was the beginning of the end for the Valiant. And I'll come out and say it, I think this was the best performance by any team in the league so far.
Once the XL got the first 2 maps, it was all but over. Their map 3, the control map, is so strong with Pine that I think they've got a chance to be undefeated on that singular map, that map 3. This match wasn't a matter of the Valiant being a bad team, though. You know that. It was proof of how complete a team the XL are. It seems like they have a lineup and a plan of attack for every map. Now, the last match of the day followed 2 dominant performances, but with the Fusion taking on the Gladiators, this could be a win that puts Philly into the mix as a favorite for the Atlantic Division. A win for the Gladiators could do the same for them in the Pacific. Let's start on Ilios. The Gladiators come back from halftime down 2 maps to nothing against the Fusion. The first round is close, but the Gladiators secure the victory thanks to Ash's Tracer Harass, who picks up a few key kills at the end of the match. The second round is more in favor of the Fusion, with Shadowburn's Pharah controlling the skies and securing the win. This brings map 3 to round 3. Winner take all. Hydration releases the hog on the Fusion. Although it's hard to pick the best hook of the round, we'll have to give it to the hook on Zenyatta right here during overtime. Taking out a key player and disrupting the Mercy helps the Gladiators take out the Fusion on map 3. Map 4 will also go to the Gladiators, meaning the Gladiators have tied up the series at 2-2. We're going to a map 5, Lijiang Tower. Surefour starts out the map on Widowmaker and gets some slick picks on the Fusion, preventing them from ever attacking the point with full force for most of the round. Round 2 is closer, and it looks like the Fusion will be able to hold it. But a key Riptire kill from Hydration on Boombox will swing momentum in the Gladiators' favor. They retake the point and are fighting tooth and nail until the end. Hydration even hops on Doomfist to push the Fusion off the point, and they do it. In the end, the Gladiators go from being down 2-0 and looking out of the match completely to winning the next 3 maps and beating the Fusion 3-2. A terrific showing from the Gladiators in the second half. Carpe and Shadowburn of the Fusion led the charge in a convincing 2-0 start, but something at halftime woke LA up, and the whole team seemed to make noticeable improvements as the match went on, Justin.
Yeah, talk about coming back from the dead. The Fusion indeed looked pretty dominant through the first 2 matches, but we've seen this Gladiators team show some resiliency, and this match was no difference. They switched up their game plan, began to be more aggressive, and what do you know? They come out with an unbelievable 3-2 win.
Now, to finish out the highlights, we have the heroes and zeros of the day. Starting with mine, I'm going to have to point out Jake from the Houston Outlaws. He had an excellent showing against the Fuel. As usual, his Junkrat play was amazing. Justin, who are you picking as your hero today?
For my hero today, it has to be Hydration of the Gladiators. He had stellar play throughout the day, but one play in particular secured the victory on the tiebreaker map. He had a very long Junkrat Riptire travel all the way from the Gladiator spawn into the Fusion's Mercy. If they did not have that play, they wouldn't have been able to recapture the point moments later. They carried that momentum through that round to take it to the end, and about the biggest comeback in the short Overwatch League history.
Yeah, and the zero of the day was me. That's right. Matt Brown, was the zero
Don't
for
be so
Week
hard on
2's
yourself.
Thursday matches. Why? Well, early on, I picked the Dallas Fuel to be my favorite team. Maybe not the best team, but my favorite. I like the Mavericks, I like Dirk Nowitzki, and I like Blue. So I like the Fuel. Now, Mickey the Smiling Assassin was a great nickname to me, and Taimu is one of the game's best Roadhogs, so I just liked the Fuel from the get-go. But after that battle against Texas, the battle for Texas, I should say, against the Outlaws, I was just shocked, confused, and saddened, as every other Dallas fan out there. I know I've already said this, but where was Taimu when it mattered? Players were using characters that they hadn't been all season long, and now I just don't know what the future holds for this team. Once a highly touted force now lies at the bottom of the heap, and I almost want to jump ship before it's too late. But I will hang on for the time being, just like we hope you will with us after the break. This is Esports Go.
Welcome back to Esports Go. The NFL and esports? That's right, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster has teamed up with FaZe Clan to release a merchandise line that will combine the black and yellow design of the Steelers and the FaZe Clan iconic logo. The line will include a FaZe Juju t-shirt and hoodie that will cost $36 and $75 respectively. Both pieces of clothing will have Smith-Schuster's name and number, as well as the FaZe Clan logo. Smith-Schuster has recently started Twitch and YouTube channels in the hopes of jumping into the gaming industry, and this might be the beginning of a trend toward the esports industry making its way into the NFL.
Houston announced their plans to build an esports arena, with Work America Capital Management investing $70 million into a multi-purpose venue. The future home of the Houston Outlaws will contain a full esports arena, as well as a complex that includes temporary housing, a gym, an American football field, and retail space with restaurants. A Week 1 viewing party brought in 600 fans, exceeding expectations for the firm and locking in their investment.
The powers that will bring you the CSGO Pro Circuit and ESL 1 have announced that Facebook, yes, Facebook, will be the main broadcasting platform for the competitions. Global Director of Facebook Games Partnerships Leo Olebe said in a statement, "For years, ESL has used Facebook to nurture its global community while broadening the audience for esports competitions to millions of fans worldwide. Having two of ESL's most adored properties for CSGO and Dota 2 streaming exclusively on Facebook is the next step in our efforts to delight the passionate esports community on Facebook. Official tournament broadcasts will air in English as well as Portuguese, with a variety of other language options available. The broadcast will begin with Dota 2 at ESL 1 from January 23rd to the 28th, and the CSGO Pro League Season 7 on February 13th. Coming up after the break, we'll preview today's Overwatch matches. Stay right here. You're watching The Go.
Welcome back. This is The Go. Let's take a look at today's Overwatch League matches. At 4 p.m., the day starts with the Dynasty looking to assert their dominance on the Uprising. Will Fleta become a hero again for us, or can the Uprising pull off the big upset? Dream Casper will definitely be a big reason if the Uprising want to compete. His Genji ultimates are some of the best DPS plays we'll see, and we'll have to see a lot of them in order for the upset to happen, Justin.
Yeah, the Dynasty got a little bit of scare from the Mayhem in their last match on Wednesday, but were able to find a way to come through. Look for the Uprising to use much of that same game plan that the Mayhem did. Focus on defense, don't take too many risks, and wait until the Dynasty make a mistake. I think this one will be closer than some people think. Our next matchup, we will see two winless teams go up against each other in the, well, one of us has to win a game contest. Two teams that hold two different styles. Mayhem, pretty solid defense, whereas the Dragons like to go with a variety of attacks. This should be an interesting one, and we all know that one team will have to walk away with a dub in the win column.
This match may be the best opportunity for Shanghai's Undead to carry his team to their first victory. He's been the clear leader and gives the Dragons offensive firepower with his dominant DPS play. He'll have to get past the Mayhem's Logix and Tivik, though. Something's gotta give. Someone's gonna get their first win here, Justin. And the night will conclude with the Spitfire versus the Fuel. London will have almost a week between matches, sweeping the Fusion last Saturday, their last time out. The Fuel desperately need to bounce back and at least take a map or two to gain confidence and my heart again.
Yeah, if the Fuel can't get that first map to go in their favor, they put themselves behind the 8 ball once again, and then their minds start to wander. They start to think, oh no, here we go again. So to me, this first map we'll decide where this will go, and I just have to side with the Spitfire on this one. Sorry, Matt.
I might have to too. And that's it for us here at The Go. Hope you enjoy the Overwatch League matches. Don't forget to check us out on our website, challengemedia.tv, for all your gaming news.
Also, check us out and follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll be here all week with your news and highlights. Thanks for watching Esports Go. We'll see you next time.
Happy Friday.